Detroit looks to change that today at Little Caesars Arena in season and here in the playoffs. Brunson, Bridges here, 23 years old. Another young stick, and Towns at possession. And Brunson booed 3 seconds into the game. He was getting taunted throughout the game by Piston fans on Thursday. Got a flagrant foul called on him against Hardaway. Here's Towns, and he scores on the first possession.
Well, Karl-Anthony Towns got going early in game 3 from the perimeter. They come right to him in the low post, little cross screen. He catches it in a sweet spot down low.
Here's Thompson, and Josh Hart, excellent defender on him. Shot clock down to 4. Harris, blocked by Towns. Good defense by the Knicks. Anunoby in transition, and he takes it all the way for the slam. Knicks got off to a good start in game 3. Ended up leading by 13 at halftime. It's been feast or famine for Hardaway. We talked about that great game 3. He was scoreless in game 2. Empty possession for Detroit. Hart downhill, hangs, can't finish.
Well, Knicks have come out with the right level of force defensively. Big stop at the rim. Defensive rebound. Jalen Duren able to get the
3, 8 rebounds in all. Entry pass to Anunoby, couldn't handle it. Poke back out to Hart. Shot clock at 4. Bridges deadly from the corner, but off the mark there on the 3. Cunningham with Bridges drawing the assignment early on. They double and force the pass. Duren underneath, and the stop.
Jalen Duren very good on the short roll and making decisions. Finds Thompson along the baseline.
Had the controversial finish here the other night in game 3 and a 2-point win. Knicks thought, or the Pistons thought rather, there should have been a backcourt violation by Jalen Brunson, but the league said no, confirming the official's call. Anunoby misses the shot. Detroit can take its first lead. Cunningham, deep 3.
The rim, very capable at making that interior pass for something better.
Brunson averaging 34 points per game in this series so far, 32 points per game last year in the run to the conference semis. Towns missing that time. Pistons looking to push. Duren ahead to Harris. He'll attack. Contact with Brunson. No whistle.
Harris to have a good start to this game. You remember what he did in the first half of game 1. Been quieter since.
He had just 5 points as Towns banks it in on the floor a ton, though, because of foul trouble in game 3. Cunningham's pass tapped out by Thompson. Now Harris, no good on the triple try. Anunoby hits the deck.
The floor, very easy to pull some guy off balance when you grab him in that state.
We talked with Asar Thompson before the game about the challenge of defending Brunson. He says he has to be more disciplined, and Brunson get inside to go up 2.
And Jalen Brunson took advantage of an opportunity, gets into the lane. That back line, all 3 defenders got caught staring at Brunson. Josh Hart just read that cut perfectly.
No attempts yet for Brunson shooting, but he does have 2 assists.
Game, and you understand the physicality is going to cause some. That one just completely unforced on an entry pass to the wing.
Now Brunson almost turned it over on the sideline. Here's Anunoby, lobs underneath. Bridges, good catch. Brunson, and you saw better discipline from Thompson, not going for the pump. Bridges puts it in.
Similar action. Brunson is down there drawing the attention visually of everybody on Detroit's weak side. So Bridges takes advantage of a weak side cut.
Floater from Cunningham, around and down. Cade Cunningham's first points. That ends a 6-0 New York run. Fans continue to boo Brunson when he brings it up the floor. On the switch, now you got Thompson trying to defend Towns on the low block, and Towns can't get the ball to roll home, and Duren cleans it up inside. Duren a behind the back dribble, and Bridges, oh, great save. Numbers for the Knicks. Anunoby underneath, missed the layup, hit the floor, bodies everywhere.
Challenge.
4 of the 5 Knicks starters have scored. Brunson's the one who hasn't until now. Jalen Brunson with his first shot of the game. He also has 3.
Range shot on the floor, going right, dipping with the left shoulder to get you back on your heels before he gathers and releases.
6th man runner up Malik Beasley on the floor. They need more out of him. He struggled shooting it in the series. Tim Hardaway Jr. way off.
Very difficult to then be able to contest that, honestly.
Tom Thibodeau, the head coach of the Knicks, says Brunson's confidence comes from his preparation. Works as hard as anybody off the floor as he does on it. Here's Towns out to Hart, left alone, straight on three. It's good. And it's a 7-point New York lead.
He's been selective about the three-point attempt in this series. Only 2 for 4 coming in. I think the Pistons will live with that.
Ball off the foot, and then yet to make a three. Cunningham looking to drive, spinning, lost Anunoby, but missed the shot. And Duren gets the offensive rebound. And then turns it over. 3-on-2 for the Knicks. Brunson on the spot up, lets it fly, and buries a three.
Careless turnovers by the Pistons early in this game.
Another offensive rebound by Duren's it back.
Well, he certainly has come ready to play on the glass on both ends of the floor. Jalen Duren doing his part, trying to settle the Pistons here early.
Cross-court feed, hard extra pass to Bridges in the corner. Shot clock inside of 10. Pass by Hart over the head of
Pistons have to be much better with ball security in the half court.
Already like 7 points off of those 5 Detroit turnovers for the Knicks. Cunningham to Dennis Schroeder, who's been the second best offensive player for the Pistons in this series. Right on cue with a bank shot from a tough angle.
What a tough shot, and he was trying to draw a foul with that head fake. Didn't get that call, but takes a tough angle for the bank shot.
He's averaging 15 points per game in the series. Hart another three, and he hits another one. 33% during the regular season, but does not shoot many of them. Better than 50% so far from three in the series. And another D.
The story of this game here early is the Detroit Pistons turning the basketball over. They've got to settle down offensively to give their defense a chance in the half court. Knicks playing with an advantage.
They're also an outstanding defensive team. They called Schroeder for the foul. Here's Brunson. Schroeder trying to stay with him. Pull-up jumper, short, and rebounded by Beasley. Pistons ball trailing by 9. 3:45 to go in the opening quarter. Cunningham lost it. Another giveaway. And numbers for the Knicks. Deuce McBride ahead, a 3-on-1. The lob to Anunoby, couldn't tip it in. But Brunson gets the offensive rebound. Here's McBride, and that's a great sign here as well. The current Knicks look pretty good, leading the Pistons 24-12. Detroit staying in the game with rebounding. Duren has 3 offensive rebounds. Imagine the score if he wasn't getting rebounds, because the Pistons are struggling offensively. Beasley misses, another putback.
Immediately coming off that down screen into a curl action, and J.B. Bickerstaff talked about getting Malik Beasley something other than a three to get his hands on the basketball early when he checks in the game. They did it right there.
Mitchell Robinson on the floor. He was questionable due to illness as Brunson's three is off target. Battle for the loose ball, and Detroit has it. Cunningham going to post up on Brunson. Skip to Beasley. He'll let it fly. And he front-rimmed it. Beasley just 3.
Bickerstaff told his team there's another one. Can't even inbound the ball to start the quarter. Rough start for the Pistons.
Duren got a piece of that shot by Bridges. The Pistons have as many turnovers as field goals in this game so far, 7. But only trailed by 10. Harris on the pull-up, no. And Towns tracks down the loose ball. Campaign in his 10th year was great in the fourth quarter during that 21-0 run by the Knicks to come from behind to beat Detroit. Foul called on Harris on the quarter.
Well, I think Detroit's got to make some threes. They're wild cards for this team. When you look,
but hard to live that way in today's NBA, making less than 10 and trying to win a playoff game. Cade Cunningham, by the way, did not take a three in that first quarter. In fact, he only had 2 points, no assists, 2 turnovers. Harris was 0 for 2 from 3. Hardaway 0 for 2. Beasley 0 for 1. Lead back to 12, matching the largest for the Knicks, with Towns now at 9 points on the day. Knicks trying to go up 3-1 in the series. Shot clock at 1. Harris has to hoist it as the buzzer sounds, and it's a
time he got it, the clock was deep.
McBride's three short, and Harris able to block out Towns and get the defensive rebound. Holland getting some minutes here at the start of the second quarter as he did at the end of the first. Beasley trying to get free, spinning on Payne, driving all the way, and gets the layup to go.
That's a great counter by Beasley because he has no space on the catch right now. Able to show some creativity and putting it down all the way to the rim.
And Bickerstaff told us before the game, if he gets an early two, that should unlock him from deep. We'll see if that's the case. Towns driving again on Harris. A lot of contact. Shots no good. Beasley rebounds. Beasley will pull up for three. And off the front rim, but back to Beasley for another try. Another miss. Another chance. Offensive rebound, Holland. Schroeder fakes it. Now Holland on the cross. Tried to bounce it underneath, and turnover number 9 by Detroit. They're 0 for 9 from 3 and 33% overall from the floor. Bridges on the face-up, goes baseline, the skip to McBride. Shot clock at 5. McBride's 3 off the mark.
New York's done a nice job of getting the ball to the other side of the floor when Detroit floods the zone on these drives.
Pistons have lost 8 straight home playoff games. The NBA record is 9. Here's Beasley for 3, around and out again. So Beasley's 0 for 4 here today from 3, 3 for his last 22.
And 0 for 10 as a team from the three-point line for Detroit.
McBride has it to the head. To have one team making 5 threes,
grateful for that, but it certainly could be much worse.
It's been the worst. I mean, they were so good towards the end of the regular season. Lost some games down the stretch when guys were sitting out and the 6th seed was wrapped up. Now, this is unusual. Cade Cunningham, with Anunoby on him, has had trouble getting going. He finds Duren. The skip to Holland. He hesitated. Wanted no part of that 3, so he drives and almost throws it away. Shot clock at 2. Holland's got to put it up. Another in 3 minutes in this quarter and only 1 field goal for Detroit. Knicks up 12. That matches their largest lead of the game. They lead this series 2 games to 1. Knocked away Holland, and then
younger players taking things for granted at home and not dying.
Here the other night, equally loud, if not louder, for the beginning of game 4. Detroit down 12. Cunningham looking for just his 2nd basket, and that was a tough shot over the outstretched.
Feels like an 8-minute stretch here that Cade Cunningham has to put his fingerprints all over it. Great patience there, got the one-on-one in the post and got the shot he wanted.
Brunson's been on the bench, and the Knicks are +2 since he went to the bench. Towns for 3, no good. Hardaway bat
did not react at all. He knew he had hit the ball.
Anunoby's 3 off the side of the backboard, but it pinballs to Towns. Towns 3, no good. The Knicks going cold, but they're getting multiple looks. Anunoby penetrating.
Going to end up with points.
Katie George in Detroit for game 4 of this 3-6 series in the East. Detroit down 2 games to 1. Winner would play either Boston or Orlando. The Celtics lead that series 2-1. Game 4 tonight. Game 4 of the Lakers-Wolves up next on ABC. Minnesota leading 2-1 in that series. And if I made 2 first-quarter threes. Brunson with 7. Cunningham has 4 points, no assists. On the switch, actually double, forced the pass. Hardaway got the 3. Finally, the Pistons
go, and it's ironic because Hardaway Jr. did not catch that ball cleanly. He actually bobbled it on the catch, but still had enough time to gather it and knock one down.
And the first assist for Cunningham. Brunson booed every time he touches the ball, and he's touched it a lot, bringing the ball up the floor mostly. Towns driving all the way, missed the easy one, got it back, and sticks it home. Towns staying. Lead back to 11. Cunningham pops for 3. And that hit Towns.
In Golden State.
All about New York basketball and how good the Pistons and Knicks series have been over the years. They played once in '84 at a game at Joe Louis Arena. They were playing that series at the Silver Dome, but because the venue was unavailable, they played downtown, where of course all the games are now since Little Caesars Arena was built about 7 years ago. Another missed 3. Cunningham 0 for 3 from deep. Detroit 1 of 13.
This is a critical 6 minutes in the Pistons season.
Bully ball from Towns, but he couldn't finish, and he collided with Hart, who had the ball. Knocked. Physical Officials are letting him play. We've seen a lot of.
Make sure he couldn't get the ball. Anunoby comes over the top.
And Tibbs understandably upset with the way they've let this go. To call that was surprising. Here's Cunningham leaving it for Hardaway. Blows by Brunson and missed the pull-up badly. And Towns clears it. Quick outlet Bridges. No look pass to Hart in transition. Out to Brunson. Leaves it for Towns. Swing it. Bridges 4-3. Offensive rebound, OG. Bridges again. Way off the mark. And now a 5-on-4 with Towns racing back up court. Bounce from Cunningham and a block from behind by Bridges. What a play. Mikal Bridges had 2 blocks in game 3. Hart goes right at the chest of Hardaway. And Josh Hart missing. It spins out, so he misses them both. But they still have an 11-point lead because Detroit can't score.
Motion going to get that call sometimes.
The boos are even louder now from the Pistons crowd towards Jalen Brunson. Trying to shake Thompson. Stares at him. Now fires a 3 and swishes it through. 14.
Yeah, Thompson's a young player. He's been in foul trouble the entire series. I felt like he was a little cautious with his contest on that Brunson jump shot. Did not want to commit another foul.
Thompson in the high post, going at Brunson, and a foul.
Yeah, Davis, R. Thompson said Jalen Brunson is great.
I think, too, it's interesting, I thought, that he told us about that is how Brunson uses his arms. We talk a lot about Brunson's footwork, but his arms to draw fouls.
So good at it. He understands how to close down that gap.
Meanwhile, the Pistons didn't understand that Bridges was wide open in the half.
Sometimes when teams are struggling like this offensively, it just takes a couple of baskets back to back, and it feels like everybody will gain some confidence and settle in.
Bridges knocked it away from Harris, got it back, and that looked like a goal.
We had that reaction.
Harris just 2 for 9, though, from the floor as Towns goes up and under. What a move. He split the defenders, hung and put it home. Lead back to 12. Harris a little out of control. Turnover number 12. Numbers for the Knicks. Bridges attacks, swatted away. Cunningham. Brunson, though, tracks down the loose ball. Anunoby with the jab step and fire. Missed the 3. And Thompson blocking out Hart. Gets a little shove from Hart as Cunningham brings it up the court.
And Thompson went to a face guard block out on that last attempt and allowed his teammates to come in and gather the long rebound.
Cunningham just 2 for 6, drives, and now 2 for 7. Knicks again look to run. Hart down court, and foul called. Second free throw's good, and that matches the largest lead for the Knicks at 14 here in the second quarter. They lead the series 2-1. Game 5 back at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday. Game 6, if there is one, will be back here on Thursday. Anunoby's done a great job on Cunningham. Here's Beasley rising up, an air ball. 17 years ago, the last time the Pistons won a home game in the postseason. They have possession to start the third. Cade Cunningham just 6 points, 3 assists, and a win would sure the Pistons of a game 6 here Thursday.
Cunningham, as they come out of the locker room, very quiet first half for him offensively.
The Pistons turned the ball over 12 times in that first half. 6 in each quarter. Off 1 foot, the fall away from Towns is short. And Duren with his 12th rebound. Cunningham looking to drive, and a wide open 3. Thompson, though, not a great three-point shooter, couldn't make it. Ball saved. Towns tracks it down. Doesn't have numbers. Looking to go right at the chest of Harris anyway. Strip. Entry pass to Bridges. Rejected by Cunningham. Thompson in the open floor. Lost the ball. Taken away by Hart. Ahead to Brunson. Pump fake and drive. Brunson weaving through traffic. Missed it. Rebounded by Harris. Detroit back within 5. 13-2 run going back to the end of the second quarter. Another giveaway. Excellent defense again by New York.
Detroit just taking it into too much traffic right now with some opportunities.
Towns and offense.
Contact.
Here's Hardaway. Off the mark on the 3. Towns staying on the floor, gets the rebound. Mitchell Robinson, the backup center, has been dealing with an illness. You wonder if that's playing a role. Robinson did play 8 minutes in the first half, but Tibbs electing to keep Towns on the court, and he's hand fighting with Harris. Couple of Post-whistle skirmishes. And now Towns getting booed. Stripped by Harris. Rips the ball away. Towns wanted a foul. Got to be careful on the other end not to pick up a frustration foul. He's done that in postseasons past when he was with Minnesota. Thompson puts it on the floor. Got stripped by Brunson. Another steal. Brunson in transition. And gets the basket.
As Harris with the strip on Karl-Anthony Towns. Jalen Brunson returning the favor on Thompson and then putting his head down, pulling his way to the basket.
Cunningham through the lane, goes to the floater and bounces it home. Game again.
Already had more space in these early trips for Cade Cunningham than he had the entire first half off the dribble.
Detroit trailed by as many as 16 in the first half. No look pass. Brunson. Oh, Thompson punched that one away from Hart. Cunningham. Spot up three. Hart away. Can't get the bounce. And Towns the rebound. Pistons are 2 for 19 from three. Anunoby on the step through. And another good defensive play. Cunningham on the reach in. And a foul called on Hart.
To get to the rim.
Turnovers aplenty. Field goals a few here in the third quarter. Knicks with just one. Hardaway penetrates, can't scoop it home. Poked out to Cunningham. He's already got 2 buckets here in the quarter. Bounces it to Duren, and it's 50. They double Brunson. Now Duren leaves him. Brunson spins on Thompson. Duren comes to help. Brunson tried to throw it off of Cunningham. It ends up in Towns' hands. Towns can't muscle that one home. He can't believe there wasn't a foul. Cunningham driving, hanging, missing, got it back. Hart with the strip. Boy, they are letting everything go here in the third quarter. A ton of contact on both ends. Brunson drives, blocked by Cunningham. Brunson still down. Harris drives and scores.
In the passion for the Pistons, which was desperately needed. Cunningham says Harris has been in so many playoff series. His presence has been really impactful for the young guys.
Yeah, Katie, it's his 65th career playoff game. So, again, a great mix of youth and vets on this Piston team. Brunson on the step back. Around and out. The Knicks just 2 for their last 13. And Detroit looking to take its first lead since early on when it was 6-4. Harris couldn't finish at the rim. Points to lead all scorers. Entry pass and score by Asari since the first 3 minutes. They were down by 16 late in the second quarter. Josh Hart missed the 3. Pistons have 1 made 3 since the first quarter. 1 of 12. Cunningham driving. Banks it home. Alive here in the third.
The difference right now, Tobias Harris and Cunningham are playing through the contact to finish. The Knicks have been unable to do that on their penetration.
Anunoby to Bridges. Towns staying on the floor with those 4 fouls. Brunson trying to shake Thompson. Drives and kicks. 1 on the timer. Hart a big 3. He made 2 in the midway point of the third quarter. Duren facing up. Remember, Towns has 4. Got to stay away. Duren missed it. And you got Beasley on Brunson. Brunson just 5 for 14 from the floor. Hart, they'll still give him the 3. Not going to take it, though. Towns bumped by Harris. J.B. Bickerstaff will keep him in the game. Towns has been on the floor for 5 minutes since picking up his 4th foul. Towns driving, knocked away by Duren, but Hart is there to clean it up. Shot clock at 1. Hart comes up short with that one. Rebound Cunningham. Four rebounds for Cunningham to go with 5 assists and 12 points. Cunningham comes to get it. Shot clock inside of 10 as Harris almost pushed off on Brunson. And the baseline J goes down.
Not only with his presence and his defense on Towns, but chipping in with 18 points on a day when everything is hard to find.
Towns, deep 3. Hit it. Karl-Anthony Towns. Knicks back on top.
He's saying if I'm going to get all that contact in the paint, I'm going to go out here beyond where the physicality plays a part.
Oh, Cunningham! Left. Pistons back in front. Every possession so intense. Towns driving baseline. Blocked Duran. Harris tracks it down. Harris racing up the court. Hardaway, 4-3. No good. And hitting the phones.
It's a tough break, too, because Hardaway had a wide-open three that would have blown the roof off this place, and instead, you end up with your 5th foul on Harris.
Brunson comes back and drains a Detroit. Since the spark has been Harris, who has to step up?
I think Cade Cunningham right now has to understand the moment, and he's been much more aggressive looking for his own offense since they started the second half. I think you're going to see that continue.
He's got 14 points. 8 here in the third quarter. Driving on Bridges. Tough angle, but he swishes it
into his wheelhouse. He loves the mid-range with that size.
Playing 8 minutes so far. He's now 0 for another miss at the line. And another rebound for Cunningham, his 5th. He also has 14 points and 6 assists in this quarter alone. They got Cunningham off the ball. It's one of the reasons they picked up Schroeder, playing for his 3rd team this year. Schroeder got McBride off his feet. Noticed Schroeder's presence.
Gives you the offensive punch, but he also gives you the creative on ball.
Gets both free throws, 63-61. Quiet day for Schroeder, just 4 points. He's averaging 15 in this series. And a ball on the floor, and Brunson is injured. Cunningham, another jam. Brunson is
Cameron Payne now inserted in onto the floor for the Knicks, and you remember the impact he had in game 1. Haven't really heard much from him since then, but Knicks don't escape game 1 with a win without Cameron Payne.
2 to shoot. Anunoby has to put it up, missed it, and rebound.
Started at the end of the second quarter. What's allowed you guys to reestablish your footing in this game?
The energy that our group played with. I thought we played with a great spirit. We played with great speed. We were able to turn them over, get out in transition, and that's where we thrive. We got to rebound and run, put some pressure on them early in the clock.
Jalen Brunson's the head of the snake. With him in the locker room, how important is it capitalizing on these next minutes?
We got to take care of business. We know how good they are. They've got talented players over there that have won big games, so we can't have a letdown. We need to be the best version of ourselves.
Thanks, JP. Thank you.
That interview that Katie just did was on tape moments ago. So after that interview was finished, Jalen Brunson walked.
Right leg much at all.
Only the first foul on Bridges. Teams that go up 3-1 in a best-of-7 playoff series win that series 95% of the time. That's how big this is for Detroit to win this game. And Cunningham gave the team a huge lift, but he's on the bench with 5 fouls. Cunningham taken over. He's got 20 points now.
And he is not being sped up the way that the Pistons offense was early in this game. Cade Cunningham has things under control right now for Detroit offensively.
8 blocks for the Pistons. That may have been the reason why Payne put that ball so high in the air. 3 ball in and out for Hardaway. Upset with himself. Thought that was down.
2 for 10 from the 3, and he's had 4 or 5 wide open looks today. That's why you saw the frustration running back on defense.
Brunson is up off the bench. He will come in at the next dead ball for the Knicks. Anunoby, well, right at the face of Hardaway. Missed the turnaround. Tipped out by Schroeder to Cunningham. Cunningham goes right at Bridges, hangs.
And all the way into that gap, draw the foul.
To double figures. Series at 2 games apiece. Game 5 Tuesday. If there's a game 6, it's here on Thursday. Game 5 would be at the Garden in New York. Towns with 19 points. He's at 3 threes. You got Schroeder off the ball defending Brunson. And Bridges was trying to screen for Towns, who puts his head down.
Karl-Anthony Towns forcing the issue, not able to make anything happen, but the Knicks get it back defensively.
Boy, that last possession was like a wrestling match, yet no fouls called. Brunson goes at the rim, misses. Hart.
The collapse in the lane.
Rick Mahorn and Patrick Ewing, a part of those great postseason series 30, 40 years ago between these teams. Brunson penetrates, has the float game. That's 19 now for Brunson. Duran picked up the foul for Detroit, his 3rd. Harris still on the bench with 5. Towns in the game playing with 4. And Brunson playing with that bad ankle. Gets the first bucket since returning. Beasley with the layup.
McBride trying to jump into the passing lane. Beasley with the back cut. All kinds of space in front of him.
Spin by Brunson, and with the right hand, kisses it home off the window. Back-to-back Brunson buckets.
Using his strength to play through the hand checking and able to get to his spot now. Back-to-back possessions.
Schroeder stops at the elbow. Pistons trying to make the most of the non-Cunningham minutes here. In the third quarter alone, Bazley for three! Third three of the half for Bazley. The lead is 11, the largest for Detroit here in Game 4.
Well, he made over 300 threes this season. He can get hot with the best of them in this league.
Towns trying to get free off the ball. Getting tangled up with Thompson. Hart puts it on the deck. Shot clock at 3. Corner 3. Bridges answers.
But he need that. 1 for 10 on the day for Mikal Bridges. They need some support right now for Jalen Brunson.
Just his 5th point, his first 3. He was 0 for 4 before that hit. 8-minute mark, 8-point game. Thompson. Driving, missing, way off the mark. Rebound Towns. That's 9 boards for Towns. Hart races up the court. McBride missed the 3. Backside board, Duren. McBride hit a 3 early on, but has not made one since. 0 for his last 4. Cunningham splits the defense. The first pass was
good. Talked about that one. Bridges hit. Very quiet day for Mikal Bridges.
And legs back on the floor for Detroit. With 5 fouls is Tobias Harris. He has 18 points, a big part of that push. Brunson, again, just does a great job shielding the defender, returning from the ankle injury.
He's so good at not leaving the floor until he is ready to release the basketball and using that strength and footwork and that touch.
Cunningham, baseline, fall away, not there, and a strong rebound by Hart. Knicks with a mini run to get within 6. Brunson hangs, missed that shot. Duren with rebound number 50. Here's a 3 from Bridges. Same spot, same result. And here come the Knicks.
Not about volume, it's about timing. And Mikal Bridges couldn't have found a better time to insert himself into this game offensively.
8-0 run by New York. Schroeder to Duren. Hand off Cunningham, going at Towns, and Cunningham hit Knicks Suns when they went to the NBA Finals, but in any playoff quarter. And now overall, he's up to 23 points, 4 blocks, 8 assists, 9 rebounds in just his 4th ever playoff game. 5-point lead for Detroit, midway point of the 4th quarter. Knicks up 2-1 in the series. Winner faces either Boston or Orlando. Celtics up 2-1 there. Brunson again driving, hanging and finishing. Jalen Brunson
shot for Jalen Brunson going to his right with that left-handed floater over a bigger defender.
Cunningham driving deep, and the turnaround hook missed, but poked back out to him. Schroeder, shake, lean in. Good job by McBride to back away and not foul him. Shot clock down to 3. Beasley has to hoist. Does at the buzzer. Front rimmed it. Rebound Hart. Hart takes it himself at Cunningham. Holding his injured right ankle. The
legendary Piston, and I know the Pistons probably could use protecting the rim.
You know, Allen Houston's here as well. We talked to Billups, Isaiah Thomas. You go back to the mid-90s. Allen Houston was starring for Detroit. He left to sign with the Knicks, and Piston fans were mad at him then, mad still at the organization and him now. This is a rivalry that goes deep. Here's Hardaway for 3, around and down! Dad likes that. The lead back to 5.
Yeah, blue kisses to the heavens on that one. He finally gets a friendly roll after missing some better looks earlier.
Brunson, oh, just a gorgeous shot off glass.
For a left-handed player leaning back and toward the baseline and able to have that kind of a touch on it.
Cunningham, good defense, Bridges. That's why the Knicks got him. His durability, consistency, and outstanding defense made a great play to force a turnover. Hardaway trying to stay with Brunson. Step back 3, and Brunson ties the game. Storming back to tie it at 84. He's got 13 since returning.
They pull this off, Jalen Brunson. They're going to be talking about this one for a long time, coming back from that injury and carrying the Knicks right now offensively.
Schroeder, foul line J. He got that one. Detroit back up 2. 3:40 on the clock. Brunson going to work again, spinning on Schroeder through the lane. Missed it. Batted out into the arms of Duran. Deck, but seems to be all right. Detroit ball with a 2-point lead. Cunningham stops, pops, good!
At a different speed right now.
He's got 30 for the game, 13 since the injury. Hardaway against Cunningham. Skip to Towns. He'll let it fly and get a three.
Pinching toward the paint when they were trying to post up Anunoby. Great recognition by Brunson and a great delivery.
Knicks trying to go up 3-1. Teams that do in NBA history win the series 95% of the time. Hardaway to answer. It's good. Away the lead back to 4. Brunson between the legs, past Hardaway, a lot of contact as he scores again. 2-point game with 2 to play.
And the way he's able to go full speed, absorb the contact, and then release it, that's softly special.
Hardaway inside the arc, got another one. Tim Hardaway, 12-year vet and former Knick, with some big baskets late. Detroit by 4. Shot clock at 10. Just outside a minute and a half to go. Brunson trying to create contact. Towns with 4 to shoot. Driving on Duran. Fall away. Oh my goodness. How did Towns make a 2-point game?
In a game that's going to require great shot making over these defenses, that might have been the best shot of the day.
Timer inside 10. Cunningham watched by Anunoby. Down to 5. Cunningham with a cross. Spin in the lane. Fall away from the foul line. Around and out. Rebound Bridges. Knicks can tie or take the lead. A minute to go here in game 4. Brunson one-on-one against Schroeder. Backing him down. Gets into the paint. To the corner. Anunoby puts it on the floor. Shot clock at 8. Towns. Long 3 from Towns. Oh my! New York leads by 1, 45 seconds to go. Cunningham guarded by Bridges. Anunoby watching him though. Cunningham drives, knocked away. Careful not to do it in the act of shooting. Bridges will inbound and into the backcourt. That is legal in the final 2 minutes. Saw that at the end of game 3. A little bit controversial, but the right call made by the official. Brunson eschewing the screen. Hart leaves him, so it's one-on-one against Schroeder, and again they have a foul to give. Shot clock at 8. Brunson trying to take him. Timer at 5 and knocked away out of bounds. Since they do have a timeout if they can't get it in. Into the front court. Brunson on the baseline puts it up. Missed the shot. Rebound Cunningham. Detroit has a timeout. Will they use it?
An opportunity to get a putback.
Cunningham driving, pull-up jumper, no good. Harris battling, loose ball on the floor, picked up. Hardaway, 2 seconds left, puts up the shot, no